What it do, y'all? It's your girl T Donna, owner of Female Hip Hop Now, and I'm back at it again with another Queen Remember in Time. And y'all showed so much love for the Trina episode. I appreciate y'all. It's Black History Month, so I wanted to continue to keep it rocking and show more love to more episodes and more female rappers that are from the South that do not get the same love and celebration that they should be getting from other female rappers in other places. So it's your girl T Donna, Queen's Remember in Time, episode number 2, and we are going to look at Mia X, aka the Queen of No Limit, the First Lady of No Limit, and I would say the Queen of New Orleans, right? And we're not talking about bounce music, but we're talking about just commercial hip hop and rap that came out the South, right? So our girl Mia X was born Mia Young, born on February the 9th, 1970. Okay, so her birthday passed like 2 weeks ago. First female artist on No Limit Records. But she grew up, before she signed to No Limit, she grew up in the housing projects of Lafayette. Okay, so if y'all know New Orleans has a very complex housing project system, or did. You had the Calio, you had the Melfafine, all those projects were very complex. As I was in New Orleans last week, I remember New Orleans is very similar to what we would call New York. To me, New Orleans is the New York of the South, not because of like culture-wise, but also the way their ward system is set up. And so it's kind of like the boroughs. And so in New Orleans, like, you know, you could walk everywhere just like you could do in New York. So I think that's really dope, right? So she began her rap career in the late 80s and early 90s. She had a record debut, Ask Them Suckers, in 1992, response to Ask Them Hoes by 39 Posse. And that kind of reminds me of Roxanne, because her response to her record, or her rapper debut, was a response to a male record. So it's always this, this little back and forth, man versus women, that went along in hip hop that always fueled like the female rappers. And I love that, because that allows for women to really step in and give their perspective of like what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we only see a male's perspective. We don't really see a woman's perspective, right? So she dropped that, got a lot of attention from people. They was like, ooh, who is this girl? Like, she dope, she rapping, all that good stuff, right? So she released the Payback number 1 selling record, but she didn't receive any money. So right after she released Ask Them Suckers, a response in 1992, she released another record, right? And in this time, she didn't receive any money because like the artists weren't getting royalties for their music. So that was a really, really big issue, right? So she kept going though. Mia X kept going. So in 1994, she signed 2 contracts, Emoja Records, and she dropped her album Mommy Dearest in 1995. So if you really dig deep into Southern female hip hop, you've heard that album before, and it's a really good album. I enjoy it. I was born in 1995, so me just now getting to listen to that was really, really dope, right? And so this ends her like solo, nobody really signed her era. Emoja Records signed her, but she wasn't really signed to a major label. She didn't hit commercial success. She really got what you would call local fame, right? And so local fame in New Orleans would take you far, because if you get famous in New Orleans, you famous all across Louisiana. If you get famous in New Orleans, you famous in Baton Rouge. You get famous in New Orleans, you famous in Lafayette. You get famous in New Orleans, you famous in Shreveport, because New Orleans is like a family gathering type state, right? So she's famous in New Orleans. Then she enters her No Limit era. If you see me looking down, it's because you know your girl got the facts. She got her notes. You can't be nowhere without your notes. So her No Limit era started with True, No Limit Records, and Good Girl Gone Bad, right? So right after 1995, in that same year, she signed to No Limit Records and also joined Master P Group True. Now, No Limit at the time was like the biggest record label down south, behind Cash Money and Rap-A-Lot, right? So her signing to No Limit as a female artist, I would say hypnotized minds too, but we could talk about that another time. Her signing to No Limit at that time meant a big thing for her, because No Limit was the big dog. You had Master P, you had C Murder, you had Silk the Shocker, like True itself. They were huge. Like No Limit was also an independent label, a truly independent label. There was no Universal backing them. There was no Def Jam. There was no Bad Boy. Nobody was backing them. They were literally doing their own thing in the South in 1995. And so Mia X signing to No Limit meant a big thing. Like, this the hardest girl in New Orleans, and undeniably might be the hardest female rapper down South. So she joined Master P's Group True, and they became a national commercial success. Make them say, nah, 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 who that? We're gonna do that. Blue Blade. Like, yes, that's fire. Like, and one of my favorites is Mac Boss Chick, about her, that's one of the best verses I've heard. Like top 5 female hip hop verse from the South. Boss Chick, right? Mia X on there, right? So they became a national commercial success. On November 21st, 1995, she released her record Good Girl Gone Bad. Great album, really good, and just really set in stone what commercial female hip hop success could look like, right? So we fast forward 2 years, 1997, 1998 is when we get this era that everybody's familiar with Mia X for, which is Unladylike and Mama Drama. So Unladylike, that album has a hit on there called "I'll Take Your Man." Boom, 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 boom. And I love that song. Even though I'm not on the level of taking anybody's man, I do like the song because it's basically saying, "Bitch, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Don't leave me the hell alone. Don't be trying to, rage bait me and mess with me. I will do what I gotta do to get it done." So I love that song. She also has a song, a hit on the album called "Party Don't Stop" featuring Master P and Foxy Brown. And I really want to talk about the connection between her and Foxy Brown because a lot of people don't know that Southern female rappers and East Coast female rappers were also working together. So because of that is so significant to me because Foxy Brown is from New York. She don't have to get on the track with Mia X, but it bridged that gap between the South and the East Coast with them getting on that track together. And Foxy Brown ripped it, Mia X ripped it, Master P ripped it. A great song. Y'all go check out the video. I like the video too. It's filmed very old school. She got on a suit. Mia X fashion was crazy. I love it. But we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But Unladylike and Mama Drama, great albums. Okay, I really appreciate them. And mind you, they were dropping, No Limit was dropping like an album every 6 months. Y'all thought Gucci Mane then was impressive? No Limit was dropping an album like every 6 months. They was pumping them albums out. You could not escape No Limit. They stayed on the top 100 Billboard charts and stuff like that because they were pushing out so much music because that's what they were doing. They were recording music, right? 1999 to present, Mia X did a few features, and in 2005, she did a record called My Female People song after the Mathematic Katrina. Katrina did kind of take a little soul out of New Orleans, but like, the people of New Orleans still kept their soul. Like I went this weekend and it's still there. It's just Katrina hurt because the country that they were a part of did not take care of them. And so I can see that. And I enjoy that she did efforts to make sure that she put pride back in her people from New Orleans. So the people of New Orleans are very proud of being from New Orleans. Right. She also had been on film a few times in that 1997 No Limit film, I'm About It. And then 1998, I got The Hookup, which is one of my favorite movies. And in 2006, Dream Home. Mia X impact is huge, right? This episode's a little short, but Mia X impact is huge because she was one of the first female rappers from the South to really claim to be unladylike. And a lot of people get the understanding of unladylike, like sitting with your legs open, smoking, blacks, all that stuff that seem unladylike. And if you do that, you know what I'm saying? Because that's still unladylike. But what a lot of people don't understand is that Mia X really stood on, I'm a boss bitch, meaning I pay my own bills. I take care of myself. I don't need no man for nothing. I'm not going to shrink myself to be with a man. And that is literally what she was saying. Like, and I think a lot of times women do these things just to have a man, but realize that a man has to be worth having. And she was making that very clear, and that probably did piss off a lot of men, but those were probably the men that weren't worth having. So I think that Mia X really just laid the groundwork for female hip hop in the South, New Orleans female hip hop, Louisiana female hip hop, which I still enjoy to this day. There's a couple girls from Louisiana like Nanina Loretta, Game Over Reedy, C Fine Ass, Treaty, that really rode the back of Mia X's success. And also her not being a bounce artist made her stand out because it's like, yeah, I love bounce music, but I also can spit these bars. If you go check out her freestyle in the Basement Rap City, she had one of the best female Rap City verses, and she didn't curse on there because she couldn't curse. Like, Mia X is a legend, and I really want to give her flowers and thank her for what she has done for female hip hop, because without her, I think a lot of girls wouldn't know where to walk in the South. And shout out to her for also beating cancer, and shout out to her verses because she had one of the livest verses. And man,